at Origins, or actually at most conventions, they have what's called Math Trade.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a lot more complicated than it is, but it is still complicated.
Yeah.
You and Eric participated in it, and I kind of took a backseat to this because I was still kind of green and new, and I didn't want to do a lot of research and figure this out. But now I'm kind of jealous. You want to explain what a math trade is?
Yeah, pretty much. You into a database. They use a program name that's OLWC, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you essentially just through Board Game Geek, you upload all the games you want to trade. They give you a deadline. The deadline comes. Now you have for Origins, they gave a week. I'd imagine maybe for Gen Con, they give a little longer. I think actually they've already said they will. You have a week or for Origins, I had a week to look through all the listings. There was around 3,200, I think, listings.
Man, that's crazy.
To sit there and siphon through. And you find a game you want. You click on it, and then it will bring up a box of all the games you have entered. And you can essentially say, what all games in your list for trade do you want to give up for this game? So you go through and click, or you can click it all. It has a way to check all. Then it will compile everything. And then at the deadline, it just does all the math for you. And maybe not, it took me a little bit to completely wrap my head around this, but if you enter in on like 3 different black fleets, but they didn't want any of the games like maybe the first person didn't want any of your games, but another person did, or maybe they wanted a game that someone else was trading for that you had. It can go like in a 3 or 4 pattern pass to end up getting you a game. So a lot of times you might get a game and it wasn't even from who originally had it. It could have been traded to someone else down the line somehow, and you end up or that's not how you received it. You received it through that process. Sorry, they're obviously going to give it to you because they had it for trade.
Yeah, the end result is you give the game away to somebody, and you go and collect the game that you want from somebody else.
Yes, it's not going to be here. I give you this game here. Hand me a game back. Right.
Yeah. So the math trade program skips all the interim or whatever, or the paths in the middle.
Yes.
And just skips it to the end and say, okay, you're going to trade this game. It's going to go through these 3 people and then finally get to this person. You're just going to bypass all that math.
Right.
Because the system did it and hand it straight to Bob, but you're not going to receive a game from Bob. You're going to get the game from Sam.
Yes.
Or whoever. So, yeah. And I thought it was pretty neat because, they had a spot in Origins in front of one of the exhibit halls, and basically tons of people just came over. Probably 100 people.
There was 167 that showed up.
It was a lot of people. Everybody brought signs with their names on it. Like
that is essential. Do that if you get involved in this. Bring a sign that's, people can tell who your username is.
Did you think of this? Because I know Eric said he brought you a sign, but I don't know if you all thought about that before.
Eric thought of it for me. I think he had read. I'm not sure if Eric's done a match trade, a no ship match trade like this before.
I don't think he has.
Okay, and he may have read it somewhere. After the trade was over, I read it after we got back, but on the thread there was people suggesting this and showing their examples, and it just makes it a lot easier. I do recommend don't use just a normal pen. Get a Sharpie.
Yeah, or print it.
Because just some people had pens, you can't read it.
And just from what I saw, the fancier the better. I mean, people were walking around there with like really elaborate signs and stuff. You will get noticed far faster, and people will give you your games a lot quicker.
Right.
Because you're going to stand out. Now, I don't know if that's shunned upon or whatever, but people are having a lot of fun with it. It's not like they're trying to be malicious.
No, people want to find you want to find them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the quicker you can get it done, now it's based on if they, what time they show up and this and that. I think most people said they were done by like 10:30 or so, but
that's not bad.
No.
Yeah. I thought we met at like 9:50, so it's like 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I did read on the Gen Con one that people are going to, line up at the spot, but like kind of get in alphabetical order. Not like great alphabetical order, but like have all the M's together.
Got you.
Things like that.
That would help.
That would make it a lot better, a lot quicker. It does help to have somebody with you.
Yes.
Because one person can stand there with the sign while the other person does, recon work.
Yeah, and some of those people brought 30 plus games.
Oh, yeah.
And they can't walk around with that. They had to post up, and then they had somebody else walking around for them, trying to find people and bringing them back to them or this and that. So, yeah, but you'll just be walking around with your sign, and someone will, hey, Buffalo Stomp. And you turn and you look, and they'll hand you something, or hey, do you got this game? And sometimes they would have a team going, and I'd be like, well, I already gave it to your husband, or something like that. But
I don't know how much I like that part.
I honestly kind of was like, because it happened twice, and it was like, I
gave it away. Sorry.
It's gone. I mean, I gave it to someone holding that sign, but.
And they probably didn't even challenge you. It's just something they do normally.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's a pretty decent honor system. But, they just went, okay, and marked it off their list. I mean, it was no big deal. I would imagine if you were cheating, you would get found out pretty easy.
You know what? I asked Eric about this, and he kind of read about it. And the thing is, you think people could be really dishonest with this, and they could. But that's like the only time they'll ever be dishonest. I mean, you really get shunned out of this. You have to be a part of Board Game Geek.
Yes.
And you have to be somewhat reputable. So if you have like a new account and stuff, people might be like, I'm not going to trade with that guy. You know what I mean? Like, people still have to sign up for the games that you have.
Yeah, and that's why I went through the extra step with my issue with the Escape from the Cursed Temple, with where I thought it had all the pieces and they weren't there. That dude just got a new game because I didn't want to get blasted or known as the guy that.
Well, you're pretty honest. I think that's a right thing to do.
No, yeah, but I was just in a first impression.
Right. Yeah.
I wanted to go the extra mile.
You don't want to mess up your first math trade.
No, exactly. And then my name's posted up there, and it's like, well, watch out on this guy.
Yeah, he gives you games without pieces.
Yeah. So it sounded like it went fairly decent. I've seen the thread after it. I haven't seen any complaints or anything. And they say even if there were some, they showed a picture of the because they had a sign-in sheet where you would walk up and mark if you were there.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, since I wasn't part of it. I kind of posted it.
It was back in. You wouldn't have seen it. It was back in that hallway. But you would walk up and just check your name so that if people knew that they were looking for you to, is this dude even here?
Yeah.
So it was just to show that you were there, like a roll call.
So you're not like walking around and being like, hey, I can't find this guy, but he might be here. We're just bypassing each other left and right.
Right.
And then, but you can go look at the sheet and say, okay, he's here.
Yeah.
I just don't know where he's at.
And it's funny, you walk the walls, you walk the hallway enough to where because I know with Eric, he was like, I can't find this guy. I was like, I know exactly where he is. I've seen that name.
Yeah.
I went and double checked and then came back to Eric. I was like, yeah, he's right where I thought he was. But it's funny how familiar you can get with some of these crazy names that people have. That
Now, I didn't do any of this from the standpoint of entering games and selecting games and stuff like that. Obviously it depends on how many games you want to do, but how long did it take you time-wise to think of the games that you want to put in trade, enter those games? How many did you enter? How many did you end up with? Things like that.
Entering did not take that long, actually, because of Board Game Geek. You just use their website.
Oh, yeah. You just select
you type a game in, It brings it up, add.
I mean, you still got to type in like the condition and things like that.
Yeah,
right?
if you want to put a description, you have to type that in there. Which, I mean,
well, it looks like the Gen Con one is talking about the condition of the game and what version it is, what rules and stuff. There's a couple of mandatory things. It's nothing really crazy. The last thing it does ask is like what days of the convention you're going to be there.
Yes.
Which that one probably did too. But what about like in the end when it's, everybody's put in all their games that they want to trade, and then you want to go through and select the games and make offers for it. How long did that take you?
That took a little time because it was like 30.
Yeah, it's like 30. It's like 35 pages or something, right?
Well, it wasn't. It was just one page.
Oh, what? Oh, because it's using a program on a different site that kind of references the data from Board Game Geek.
Now, the only problem I had was I don't know if it was because I was on iOS or what, but I was using an iPad, and it seemed like about after 10 minutes of scrolling, it would lock up and go back to the top on me.
That's annoying.
So I had to get to where I would remember what number I was on, and then I could quickly flick down and then get another like 10 minutes or so.
I'd recommend downloading Chrome.
Oh, well, yeah.
I think it's the Safari browser because it does it on my phone too.
Okay, and that might be what it was, but that was just an issue I had. But like I said, I would just memorize what number I was on, kind of roundabout.
And then I flick all the way down to the 300.
So I could, it was like, I went out on 1500. So, all right, let me just quickly flick down here and I'll about know where I was.
How many games did you put up for trade?
I did not. Talking to Eric, I felt like I was like, I didn't do nothing. I think he tried for like 100 and something games.
Well, I mean, like, how many did you put up?
Oh, how many? I think I put up 30.
Okay. And then you ended up with what, 3 trades?
3 trades.
Wow, that's a small ratio.
Yeah, but I only asked for
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, I only asked for like 10 trades.
I gotcha.
So I actually had like I think I got 3 out of 10 things I wanted.
That makes more sense. Yeah, you could put a ton of them up that increases the chances, but you only went for so many.
Yeah, and then actually after you're done, this is what helped me wrap my head around the math trade at the end was after it's over, it will actually on each game let you see who wanted certain games you had.
Oh, that's cool.
So
you can get disappointed that you didn't select the right thing?
Well, that just lets you know that, you didn't pick a game or somehow you did not pick a way to get to a game they were offering.
I see. That's pretty cool because then it kind of might prompt you for the next or give you ideas for the next math trade.
Yeah, so and it let me see what games I had that people did actually want. It let me see what games people did not even show any interest in. So
you might not put those up.
No, they're going up.
Well, that's true. It's a different audience.
Yeah.
Different convention, different audience.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's going to take it for something, why not offer it up? I'm not playing it or I don't want it, obviously. So
if you don't put it up there, you don't trade it, period.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well get a chance at it. So, I mean, now I feel like it's pretty daunting to get into this. I was kind of, that's a lot of stuff to read through and stuff like that. I mean, how did you feel in the beginning?
Well, I'm pretty computer illiterate. And I went through it fine. So
okay. So
I mean, if you're worried about time consumption, it's
well, maybe not time for consumption, but the idea behind it and making sure you do everything right and learning what they need you to do and things like that. All the steps.
You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
It's just one of those things. Break the ice, and it's not really that bad.
Yeah, no. Like I said, you use the website to enter your games. They give you links from then on to go. It's link based, I guess. Once all the trades are up for you to go through the list, it's a link that you'll get in your Geek Mail. And so you just click that link, it'll take you right to it, and then you scroll from there, and it all works from that page.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it seems very archaic, but it works. So,
did you think it was worth it?
Yeah, I had fun. I'm happy with what happened. So.
All right. Well, last thing, do you have any tips for newbies if they want to get in? They've never done a math trade based on your one experience.
If you're going to, I had the problem with, I was being maybe a little too honest. And like, if I picked a game because I didn't understand how it would take all the routes and just do its thing. Like if I wanted a game that was, what would probably retail for $30 or $40, I only offered up a $30 to $40 game for it. Well, that's not, you just want to check everything because it might find a way to get you that game with something. So just check all.
I feel you.
And let it do its thing and it will probably work out for you. Now, sometimes I think like Eric got 2 of the same game. That kind of stuff I think can happen.
Well, he put in for 2 different ones though.
Well, that's true. Right. Yeah. I guess that's why. If it just worked out for him where he got both. But so I would just say check them all, bring a nice sign.
And that kind of clarifies something from a couple episodes ago where we're talking about Lexicon and the fact that, Eric made off with Descent Edition 1, the coffin box.
That was different, though. That was a straight trade with that guy.
Well, but he still used the math trade. It just didn't happen to go through routes. But what I'm trying to say is in the end, that person traded something they were okay with trading for that.
Well, I mean, and that's true. Yes.
They knew the result was going to happen or could happen.
Yes.
And so, like, that's why we were just dumbfounded. Like, he's giving you a 4-player game of chess for first edition of Descent.
Yes.
What is going on?
Yeah.
But it makes more sense because although there wasn't any, layers to that trade, he knew what he offered him for it.
Yes.
And back and forth and vice versa.
Right.
So, pretty cool.
Yeah, because Eric said that guy pretty much said, "Here's all the games I'll give for this," and that would just happen to be one of them.
Yeah, I mean that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean because obviously to him it didn't mean as much,
right?
And that meant more to him. So it's win-win. Both people win.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool. I'm definitely doing it at Gen Con. I'm looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. I gotta inventory my games.
I suggest it. Yeah, I think you need it.
Yeah. Oh, I got a lot of games that we've played a couple times, and it's like okay.
Or some games we're not going to.
Well, yeah, because we played enough to review it, and then we're like, okay, we don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Or, worst case, we all three have a copy of it.
Right.
Are you going to put Puerto Rico up at Gen Con?
No, I'll probably hold on to that just for sentimental reasons.
I feel so. I feel the same way. I don't really want to get rid of it. So.
I think the only thing I was about to give up was Agricola. But I'm hearing that there might be like a family version. I know there's family rules in it, but I'm just going to wait and see what they come out first.
Oh, yeah, the actual family version they're designing.
Yeah, so I'm going to wait and see what they bring out because I'm sure that would trade.
Fair enough.